All right, so today we're going to start another method to solving a system of equation, and that's called by substitution. So today and the next video as well, we will be working on pages 66 and 67. Okay, so we're going to talk about solving linear systems by substitution. So we're going to go ahead and label that on page 66. I'm going to label 67 as well, but we won't get to that today. 11.2, solving systems of equations. Solving linear systems of equations. By substitution. And there is a foldable, but of course, if you can't print one off, then just write on that notebook page. This one is easier to just make your own foldable because it's not a graph or anything, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right, so it is a foldable that looks like this. There's only about 4 problems on it. Fold it in half. It gives you the steps, and then we're going to actually, solve one. So, to solve by substitution, we literally are going to substitute. That's why it's called what it's called. So step 1 says find an equation that looks like this. You're either looking for x equals something or y equals something. Then we're going to circle everything that is after the equal sign. So we will circle whatever's after the equal sign. Then we will substitute what you have circled into the other equation for the variable it equals. Then we'll solve the equation. Then we will substitute the answer from step 3 into the original equation, and we will write it as x comma y. So let's look at number 1. Number 1, solve each system by substitution. This is not x equals or y equals. This one is. So we are going to circle what is after the equal sign. We are going to substitute that in for y into this equation. So we will have negative x plus 8, but instead of y, we're going to put negative 8x minus 7 equals 9. We are going to distribute and solve for x. Negative x minus 8 times 8 is 64x. 8 times negative 7 is negative 56, and that is equal to 9. Okay, combine like terms, negative x and negative 64x is negative 65x minus 56 equals 9. Add 56. Negative 65x equals 65. And divide by negative 65. So x equals negative 1. So this is steps. Step 1, we found the equation. Step 2, we circled it. Step 3, we substituted and solved. Now we have to find y. To find y, we are going to plug back in up here. Y equals negative 8. We are plugging in negative 1 for x minus 7. So y equals negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8 minus 7. So y equals 1. Finally, we are going to write it as a coordinate pair, negative 1, comma 1. This is the answer I'm looking for. Just like when I had graphing, I was looking for a x comma y solution. I'm also looking for an x comma y solution. Let's look at number 2. Number 2, step 1, I need to circle the part after equals. It happens to be the first one this time. I'm going to be plugging that in for y. So negative 3x minus 5, plug in negative 8x minus 1 equals 5. Now I'm going to distribute. So we got negative 3x first, just bring it down, plus 40x plus 5 equals 5. Combine like terms here. You get 37x plus 5 equals 5. Subtract 5. 37x equals 0. Do not freak out when you get an equals 0. Remember, 0 is still a number, so that's fine. So divide by 37. 0 divided by any number is 0, so x is 0. Now we're going to plug it back in to find y. And we plug it back into the first equation this time because that's the one that's y equals. So y equals negative 8 times 0 minus 1. Negative 8 times 0 is 0, then minus 1. And 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Last, we write it as a coordinate pair. X, y. Okay, x and then y. Pause the video and try number 3 and then number 4. You should be able to see them both. 3 and then 4. Okay. Now substitute. Here's the value after y. Plug it in. So 3x minus, parentheses, x minus 2 equals negative 4. If you have a negative, remember it's like having a negative 1. That's what we're going to be distributing. So bring down 3x, distribute negative 1. So negative 1x, or just negative x, plus 2 equals negative 4. 3x minus 1x is 2x. Bring down plus 2 equals negative 4. Subtract 2. 2x equals negative 6. Divide by 2. X equals negative 3. Remember, once you solve, go back and plug it in. We plug it into the second one this time because that's the one that's y equals. So negative 3 minus 2. I don't have to multiply anything this time because there's nothing in front of x. So I just have to do negative 3 minus 2, which is negative 5. And if you were confused about negatives at this point, use a calculator. But it's keep, change, so it's negative 3 plus negative 2, really. Okay, then write down x, comma, y. Go. Number 4. I hope you've paused the video and tried it. We're going to substitute this one in. 8x, I'm going to do it over here to the side. It bothers me for some reason if it's not on the side. I'm done shaking myself there. 8x minus 4, and then we're plugging in negative 4x minus 16 equals negative 8. Bring down 8x, distribute, and you get 16x. Distribute, and you get, let me see, 32, 64. You can use a calculator. I should have probably gotten one out, but I didn't. All right, 8x plus 16x is 24x plus 64 equals negative 8. Subtract 64. You get 24x equals negative 72. Divide by 24. Negative 72 divided by 24 is negative 3. Plug that back in up here. Y equals negative 4. Remember, you always plug it in the y equals 1 or whichever one is equals. We don't have any x equals in this situation, but that's what we would do. Okay, so negative 3 minus 16. So y is negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. Minus 16. So 12 minus 16 is negative 4. Do not forget, last step, write it as a coordinate. X, then y. Okay. We will continue to do this in the next lesson. So keep working on it. Work on the homework parts that you can work on. I will see you next time.